Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Popcast on the Rocks. This is episode 37 on a Tuesday night. Kind of an odd day, I guess, but it's a big day, I think. How's it going, Andrea?
Pretty good. How about yourself, John? You're
Not too
safe from
bad.
the snow?
Yeah, I would say other than the not so ideal weather, it's been a good day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's
How's your
unfortunate.
week been? It's been a little bit it's been a minute.
Yeah. It was good. I mean, last week, of course, it was beautiful here, so I was outside pretty much every day, just getting in walks around lakes, very, very quintessentially Minnesota of me to do. Cleaning up the yard and yeah, not too much else going on. Just spending every moment I could outside and of course anticipation of this second like early winter we're having.
Yeah. Yep. Well, now seems a little more possible, but certainly I remember a few years now where there's not much snow on the ground for
Mhm.
even most of December sometimes. So,
Right. It's kind of waiting to hit us until January, February.
mhm. Despite the reputation that we have, I feel like a lot of people that have heard of Minnesota in the rest of the country, even maybe other parts of the world, just assume it's hot here all the time.
They
Oh, if I
do.
go to Minnesota, it's going to be frigid and blustery and,
Yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, I think in the chances we've had to present ourselves on a more global stage, like the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, Minnesota really lived up to its
mm.
reputation of being frigid and cold.
Yeah,
Because I know that was like a big talk, around like all the news coverage and all like the football players were like, "Oh my God, it's so cold here." Like I knew it was gonna be cold, but I
sure.
didn't know it was like this. So, you
Mhm.
know, we get that reinforcement on the world stage, and then everybody's mind is made up now.
Well, what about what was that the big golf tournament? Was it Wimbledon or I don't know
Oh,
which one?
Masters? Wimbledon
Yeah,
is
the
tennis.
Masters of Wimbledon. Oh my God. Sports ball.
Did they score
Yeah.
touchdowns or baskets or yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Masters
we
was
got to do a
here.
t-shirt like the nerd ones, and mix them all
Right,
up.
right.
Mhm.
Yay, go sports team. Make those
Mhm.
touch baskets. Yeah. Yeah, the Masters was here a couple years ago. Chris, of course, went to that. I was extremely excited. But yeah, that was pretty early. I think that was actually in August.
Okay.
So
It's
technically,
probably warm.
yeah, oh yeah, it was very warm. And technically I think in people's minds it was still like summer, so it was okay that, Minnesota wasn't a winter wonderland
But
yet. But
that's what I'm saying, though. They don't
yes,
think,
yes.
oh,
I don't
it can
remember
be
that.
90 degrees and humid here, Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, nobody
Uh,
nobody covered that because it was so unremarkable, but yeah, during the
yeah.
Super Bowl, they're
Our
all just like,
national,
"The
our
weather."
state bird is the mosquito.
That's right.
So, I mean, they don't live in the winter real well.
Mhm.
So, yeah. It's not the state
Yeah,
bird, but that's a joke, everyone.
right. Yeah,
So,
if you're not from Minnesota. Yeah. Alan felt the need to let you know
oh,
that it's
Alice correct me.
commonly just in case. I mean, you did
Yeah.
have that whole, like, what's the golf tournament, Wimbledon, so maybe he was
Yep.
thinking, like, maybe John
Hmm.
doesn't know.
Yep, I'm just gonna be messing up all night is his thought there. So
Well, that's the
yep.
job of a good producer there. He's got
Yep.
your back.
Yep. Don't mislead the audience.
That's right.
Um,
If you're not from Minnesota, you don't know.
well, that's right. Um, so I'll get ready to plow myself out tomorrow, shovel and
Yeah,
all that thing.
can't
I
wait.
liked all the national drink holidays and stuff. They feel appropriate, kind
Yeah,
of.
they're,
I mean, at least I don't know, cappuccino. Anyways, that feels good right now.
yep. Yeah, feels appropriate. Yeah, or National Shot Day. I mean, take a
Mhm.
shot, warm up, who
Yep.
hasn't done that? The other 2 are kind of very random. So, November 8th was National Harvey Wallbanger Day, and, I haven't thought about a Harvey Wallbanger since I had to learn how to make one when I attended bartending school. But like literally nobody ever in my lifetime has asked me to make one. So I'm not sure
So
why. I think it's like a remnant
what is it?
left over from like earlier times when maybe it was like a popular thing
Yep.
because yeah, it's definitely I've never had to make it ever.
So do you remember what's in it?
Um
Like what
I
it actually is?
believe
Because I've definitely never heard of that either.
I believe it's a twist on a tequila sunrise. Let me
Harvey Wallbanger drink.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Um,
hey. Yeah, so vodka, orange juice, and Galliano. Yep. The Italian
mm,
liqueur,
okay.
which
Okay.
again is something like nobody has in stock because you don't really make a whole bunch with it.
Next time I'm over, I am demanding a Harvey Wallbanger drink from you.
Done and done, John. Make a note of it.
Well, I wonder if this was, like you say, maybe a drink of kind of, I won't say yesteryear, like an old timey drink, just a drink of the last 30, 40 years or
Mhm.
something like that, that's kind of
Yeah.
gone out of style. Because there's another drink called a slow screw. Have you heard of one of
Mhm.
those?
Yes.
See, I never heard of one of those either. And I guess Ashley's mom, that's what she would always order. That's what she always drank. I was like, what the heck is this?
Mhm.
So yeah, with slow gin is one
Yep.
of the ingredients.
Yep.
And so I bought some the other week or whatever because I thought, oh, there it is. I see it. So, but that's another thing with vodka, orange juice, and this slow gin. So
Yeah, I think there were a lot
yeah.
of like simple cocktails with funny names that people were just kind of into for,
Yeah.
like you say, like the
Mhm.
past 30, 40 years. Because I did have to learn how to make that as well. And there are several different variations on that, each with like funnier names. I think there was like a
Mhm.
long, slow screw with a pillow against a wall sideways, and like
Okay.
and it's like all the different things that you're supposed to do to it.
Yeah.
It just got funnier and funnier.
You
But
start bringing
yeah,
out props as you're making it. There's your pillow, and you're like,
right, yeah.
it's like,
Got like
yeah,
fuzzy handcuffs or something,
yeah,
just like
yeah.
um yeah, yeah. So I mean, might be dating myself a little bit there with like what I had to learn how to make in bartending school, but yeah,
Ah,
that's
but it's still, yeah. I
that's
say
a
1950s for the Harvey
1950s.
Wallbanger. Yeah,
Sounds about right. I would guess like 50s or 60s. Sounds like a
yeah,
appropriate era name.
yeah. And then don't they have like this the slow screw? Aren't there like they do for all the different liquors? Then it's like the
Mhm.
Mexican screw or something
Yep.
like that, right? They do all
Yep.
in the tequila. Okay. Yes. Hmm. Well, I don't have any of that stuff
Well,
tonight.
it's okay because in 2 days, November 12th, it's gonna be National Happy Hour Day, and that's just whatever you want.
Just
Whatever
anything, yeah.
whatever you order at a happy hour. Like, I'm just taking it cool and drinking some wine, which is, a
Nice.
classic happy hour staple.
It's true. Yep.
So, what have you got for us, John? What's on your happy
Well,
hour?
I'm adhering to the shot day.
All
So,
right.
I've got a theme of like warming fall kind of stay inside kind of stuff. So, I have a Ozark Distillery apple pie moonshine.
Perfect.
Um, can't hardly go wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's delicious. That's from Missouri. Um, and then I have a nitro pumpkin spice latte beer from
Okay.
Breckenridge Brewery, and that's a Colorado beer.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh,
so
that's a
it's got a
cool
really
can.
good, yeah, and it makes you feel warm looking at it. It's warming drinks that are cold. So,
Yes.
but yeah, they feel right for the
All right.
climate.
Well, cheers.
Salute. I got my fancy like cowboy tombstone cowboy shot glass. It's got Morgan Earp and Doc Holliday on it and stuff. Not related to any of this stuff, but so. Anyways, so this week, I mean, it's kind of there's been some news. Some news this week.
Quite a variety, I would say.
Yeah. No big super spoilery things for later that anyone has to worry about. So that should be all right. But I thought we could talk a little about just what we've, our episodes have been slower, a little more intermittent. What have we been managing to watch and play and listen to and whatever that maybe we haven't talked about or given a few thoughts on?
Sure. You've got a longer list than I to get through. So do you want to kick us off?
Okay. Yeah. So I'll run through them and then we can kind of stop back or something for anything that needs extra attention. Mandalorian season 2 has begun, so I'm keeping up with that. So that's easy to do to stick to that. Daredevil season 2, I'm rewatching with my parents. They've not seen it before.
Right.
Long Way Up, an Apple TV Plus show starring Ewan McGregor. And I've been listening to, I should finish what I'm watching yet. The Holzer Files. It's like a ghost hunting show.
Oh, okay. Is it like a true ghost hunting show or a spoof ghost hunting show?
Yeah. So I'll go into that one. So Ashley's done some ghost hunting and gone to a couple like paranormal conventions and stuff. And she met Darkness Dave.
That's right.
He has this like his radio show he's done for a long time, and now it's moved on to a podcast and stuff like that. And well, he's been doing this show. He's helped on Ghost Adventures in the past and stuff like that. But Hans Holzer, I believe, Hans Holzer, he was a ghost spiritual hunter guy, and he had traveled around with this woman, and that was like a medium, and they were to my understanding earlier ghost hunters kind of but they made a name for themselves, and so they're basically in this show going through the cases that they had taken on and trying to see if they can figure out more or figure out what they were talking about, add some. Now we have more technology, or we've recorded more stuff. They work harder to dig into other things and interview more people and that kind of thing. So they see if they can dig up any more on these cases and stuff like that. So I have a lot of fun with it. If anyone knows me, I am I'm a pretty big skeptic. But this stuff is cool nonetheless. And I'm not closed off to the possibility of things that I don't understand. So
Sure. Yeah, I was wondering more if it was real or, spoofed, just because I know that Truth Seekers, which is Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's kind of spoof on ghost hunting, came out on Amazon Prime this week. So I was just it just immediately made me think of that. So
we should watch that.
We absolutely should.
That completely.
Yeah. I kind of forget sometimes that Amazon Prime does have some good stuff. I mean, I when I watch it, like I'm very aware. Like, of course, we just watched The Boys, so I was very aware of that. But I just don't think of like, oh, should I just page through Amazon Prime and find a new show? Like, I'm more apt to do that with like Netflix or something. So.
I don't think these streaming networks do well enough to promote their own content, because
I agree.
They have to realize that a lot of people are jumping between services. And so, they're not going back and looking through what's available all the time on something. They go to something that they hear about. And well, if they don't see an ad on TV or on another service or on YouTube or on social media or something, you don't know about it. That's what I think movies and stuff. There have been movies coming out and they just blow by me often because I don't remember that they're coming out.
Right.
There's not that like month-long campaign on television to advertise something. So
Yeah, and
I don't know.
even if, those streaming services do kind of manage to get your attention, it's not always clear when it's released. So I know we've
Hmm.
talked about some things that we thought were upcoming or like were already available, and suddenly it's like, no, it's not actually there. Oh, it's being released this date. It's like, oh, well, now like I'm all excited about it, but I feel like it's too early for me to be excited about it because I thought it was available now. So just like be clear with your dates.
Like I still want to watch now that the HBO The Undoing. It's a new
Yes.
show that's
Mhm.
out. I
That
still
kind of
didn't get
snuck
the
up. Like I
yeah.
didn't realize it was available until HBO was like, "Oh, here's the first episode." I was like, "Oh, what?"
And the Jude Law one, um, I forget what
Mm,
that's called now, but that looked really cool. And then
okay.
there's that movie with Tom Holland and Edward
Oh, Robert
Cullen.
Pattinson. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember us talking about that. Yep.
So there's a lot of stuff, yeah, and it's coming out, and I don't know, maybe it's just overwhelming, but I always like, oh yeah, that okay. So,
Right.
anyways, then I started playing The Last Campfire on Apple Arcade. It's a fun kind of adventure puzzle game, kind of an
Mhm.
emotional story, little cute guys in there. And then I listened to while I was finishing up in the field the album Kid A by Radiohead.
Okay.
And it was a band member, Johnny Greenwood, I think is his name. It was his
Mhm.
birthday. So I was like, oh, I haven't listened to Radiohead stuff in a while. And so I tried the album Kid A, and it is very good. I
Oh,
highly
good.
recommend it, but it's definitely one of those things where you should listen into it in one sitting, beginning to end. It's not like pick up a song and listen to it. It really is an album listen kind of thing.
Okay. Sure.
So,
Get the whole effect.
yes. How about you? That's my list.
Well, like I said, you've got a lot more going on than I have. Um, right now, I am catapulting, it feels like anyway, catapulting through Daredevil season 2. I'm already 5 episodes in.
Nice.
Um, so I feel like I've covered a lot of ground in the first 5 episodes. I've already met the Punisher, and now I've met Elektra in these last few episodes. So I'm getting a lot of background and a lot of other character exposure in the wider, Marvel universe. And then, as we kind of talked about last time when we were talking about what to watch next after Daredevil season 1, I did start Jessica Jones season 1, and I am through 3 episodes of that, kind of in the middle of episode 4 ish right now. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, so I feel like I've covered a lot of territory, but yeah, haven't been diversifying, just been focusing really.
Sure. Well, you must be enjoying it then.
I am indeed. I mean, it's both shows are great setups for both each other. There's a lot of references back and forth in each of them.
Mhm.
Of course, in Jessica Jones, now I've met Luke Cage, seen quite a bit of his background as well. So it's like setting me up to watch Luke Cage nicely. Um, yeah, I'm glad I stuck. I had a really hard time with the first episode of Jessica Jones. And I'm glad I just kind of like pushed past it and stuck with it for the next couple because I really like it. But the exposition of it was hard. It felt like deliberately stylized. Like it had this very
Mm,
like jazzy
sure.
noir
Oh
music
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like I just didn't feel like it fit at all.
Okay.
And it was really jarring and it was really difficult to be like, she's so like gritty and it's like so it's hard to go from like the grittiness of Daredevil, be introduced to like the grittiness of Jessica Jones, and then have this like smooth jazz
Hmm.
soundtrack playing, and I was just like, I can't with this. But Yeah, it's gotten a lot
I
better
do
now.
like how different they all feel. They all do have a unique feel, and I like how they each have a color associated with them, kind
Yeah,
of in their
like
opening
a
and stuff. It
palette.
just, yeah, it's um, I think it's pretty cool. They have different styles of music, and
Hmm.
but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I like the difference between them, even though of course they're interrelated. But yeah, I just felt like the first episode just didn't quite have it all pulled together, and then they just kind of scrapped all of that stylization and the very like, look out the cab at the night cityscape. Um just there were just like a few moments where I just felt like I wasn't in Jessica Jones. I was in like Sin City, which is like,
sure,
a
yep,
totally different, like that's very like purposefully stylized and very like,
yep.
noir detective, but it works for that. And I didn't think it worked here. And now I'm in. Now I'm better with it. So
I've been loving rewatching Daredevil. I like
hmm
catching the things that they kind of hinted at that are talked about later.
sure.
Foreshadowing that's dropped. Some of whether intentional or not, I don't know, but it works. Some of the little Easter eggs. So yeah,
hmm
it's been good. Um, and yeah, I don't know if we have been wanting to watch Jessica Jones again as well, but
hmm
I'm thinking we'll see when we get through season 3 of Daredevil, if
Sure.
then my parents are interested. Okay, well those are done now, and they want to try
Right.
something else. So yeah. Mandalorian has been good thus far. Only two episodes, but enjoyable for sure.
Good.
Um, I'm always worried because usually if it's going to be 8 episodes, I feel like you got to do a lot in each
hmm
episode. Each episode means something,
Yep.
which I like, but I'm like I don't want to give anything away to say or anything, but yeah, there's stuff I'm looking forward to, and we'll see.
Okay.
And then I guess like Long Way Up. Have you heard of this? Long Way Up?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before. That's
Okay.
You're talking about like the
Okay.
Ewan McGregor,
Yes.
traveling. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they had two other
So
seasons of this, correct? Like Long
yes.
Way Down, Long Way Round,
Yep.
and now it's
Mhm.
Long Way Up. Okay.
Yep. And it's I quite enjoyed the first two. They came out
Mhm.
quite a while ago. It's been a bit of time now. And they got the other two seasons on Apple TV Plus as well. So they clearly got
Oh,
the rights for streaming that. So you can
sure.
watch those as well. The different thing they were going to do with this, besides like finally these two guys, Ewan McGregor and his buddy Charlie, uh, I don't remember his last name. They're like kind of that reuniting after being apart for a while. Charlie had a really bad motorcycle accident, and it kind of brought him back together. Ewan checked up
Mhm.
on him, stuff. Well, the difference in this one is, I suppose they have more money at making it for Apple TV Plus or something. But then part of the challenge was going to be that they're going to use electric powered bikes to go
Right.
from the very bottom tip of South America all the way up to California on these bikes. And
Right.
then the crew vehicles, two of them, basically two of the three, were going to be electric SUVs as well. And those
Mm.
vehicles get like they kind of meet at the borders or whatever.
Mhm.
Which to me is like a cool concept. Can you do that? Because it's already difficult enough always to do their journey and stuff like that. But in the first episode, they basically prove you can't do it unless you're very wealthy Westerners that can like have some company install a whole bunch of charging stations that no one's going to use except for
Oh.
you along this route. And so it's the show has irked me in a way that I wasn't expecting, um, because it comes off as really elitist. Like these
Mhm.
guys are going down there in these custom bikes and custom cars, and they're going to drive up, and they immediately are running out of power, and they're trying to get power from other people, and that's like blowing their breakers. They're putting all these other people out there, like opening their place for them when they're closed. They're
Mhm.
freezing, so they have to wheel their bikes inside, and that's making a mess and gonna drip everywhere. Like they're
Mm,
putting all these people,
hmm.
you know, asking a lot of them
Sure.
to attempt that so they can prove and feel good about something that they're using electric. And then they keep having to use a diesel powered generator to
Hmm.
charge up their bikes. Now, if you can't see the irony, um, that maybe your bike could just run fuel versus
Right.
you, it just the whole thing, it just seems really devoid of reality. And it's to me not putting them in a good light. And I'm probably 4 episodes in or something like that.
Okay.
And it's too bad because I liked the first 2 seasons. It really is about these two just going on an adventure and struggling and meeting people and seeing what the rest of the world and all these other places are like. And,
Sure.
uh, and it's evolved into something else that's kind of insane. So that's
Yeah.
my little rant on that when I was kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah. It almost sounds a little bit like, God, I can't remember exactly what this is called. And I don't think that perhaps they meant to do this, but it's almost like, I think it's like poverty tourism or like where like you end up going to like these poorer areas and you kind of like show them off on TV and like you ask them to like host you and you ask them
Yeah,
to do things and then you like show it like in this case you're showing it on TV but like when people go on vacations like they snap selfies or take pictures and it's like this weird like juxtaposition of yourself against this like poor person
yeah,
and it's like poor people for tourism just to like see that. And so I feel like what you're talking about is like in the first 2 seasons of this, it feels more like maybe they're meeting these people on more equal ground because they're not actually asking them to take care of them.
yep,
And then in this, it's more like that sort of like uglier side of like, please help me. I'm, this rich Westerner, but I'm stranded because I didn't think something through that like this like daily life that you live so please put yourself out to help me accomplish this like very
yep.
silly thing. So
And then
yeah, it
they had like
sounds a little
this.
dicey.
They had this, you know, not raft, ferry that
Mm-hmm.
was that like they held up for 20 minutes or whatever. They're like the production was begging them, but please wait, please wait because Ewan was out of juice and had to basically get towed like onto the thing. So making all the local people there that probably have things to do or whatever
Mm-hmm.
wait for our show
Yeah.
because we have, and I don't know if they realize the way they're coming off or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in the other seasons, of course, if they got into trouble, production would come and rescue them. That's what they had
Right.
the medical gear and stuff and the other cars for. So, but still, they would talk to people, they would learn stuff from them. Like people would help them. They would volunteer help for sure. Nice people all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't have to ask so much of people, and yeah, I don't know. So it's too
That's a
bad.
bummer. I know you had said you were looking forward to that, so it's a kind of a bummer
Yeah.
that this isn't quite
Something I
delivering.
never expected would
Yeah.
would come again. There'd be more of it. So, all right. That's what we've been watching, playing,
Mm-hmm.
listening to, doing all that stuff. What do you listen to? You must listen to some music, right? I mean,
um
it can't be your ringtone all the time and Thunderstruck, right?
oh God. No, I wish yeah, I don't know whoever might be listening in an audience ever, but yeah, my ringtone is a long-standing joke. Um, it's Call on Me by Eric Prides. I've had it, what now, like 12, 13, 14 years? Never changing.
I mean, since I've known you, I feel like it's been that. So
Yes. Yes. I
yeah.
think I set up my first ringtone like the first year I was in college. So yeah, that'd be about
Okay.
the first time you would have known me.
We all make poor choices at sometimes in our life. And, you made one like
That's
12 years
right.
ago or whatever. So
That's right. I'm owning it. I'm owning it
you stick
completely.
by. Yep.
No, I really haven't been listening to too much music lately. I feel like most of my music listening I did in my car during my commute, and now I don't have one.
Right, yeah, yeah. Yep.
So now it's like, oh right, I don't
Nothing
really
during
need.
work?
No, no. I've usually got like some news or TV on or something in the
Yeah.
background. So I like need noise. It's just I don't usually turn to like music to do it.
Sure.
Um, and then of course like when Chris is home and he's like covering, of course, the recent election for his class. I mean,
Mm,
like all the news is on all the time in our house, so that's kind of a lot of what I've
sure.
been listening to. So
So you're you're sane somehow though? You seem sane still. I don't know how that would be, how those
uh,
two make sense.
I know, I know. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to step away from it now, but there was like a pretty
Mm.
intense 3 days in our household that I was like, oh my God, what is happening? What am I listening to? So, and
Uh,
it just felt like the same thing for hours and hours, and then you'd wait for like one thing to change, and then you were like, "Oh my God!" And then it was like an intense couple of seconds, and you're like,
sure.
"All right, well, I guess I
Yeah.
better wait 3 days for the next intense, 30 seconds of updates."
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
now I think I'm gonna like chill out a little bit and
Sure.
relax. Probably try to listen to something a little less intense, controversial.
Sure.
I've
Yep.
just been listening to more like workout mixes while I've been going biking and walking and
Mm,
running.
okay.
So
There you go.
yeah,
Yep. Yep. High energy stuff.
that's right.
All right, some news.
Yeah,
There's been a bit.
yeah,
Guess
very
we should get out of the way first. Maybe the two sad stories here. I don't know if you can see what I'm highlighting, if
yeah.
it shows
Yep,
highlighting.
I can.
Um, so the first and most serious one, poor Alex Trebek.
Yeah,
I
2020,
mean, he's
man,
been
knock it
fighting for a
off.
while.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah.
he clearly had the best treatment and seemed like I mean, the one thing I remember during this was, you remember what during the one Jeopardy and someone wrote in their like their answer at the end and
Yeah.
didn't know what it was or whatever and just said like, "We love you, Alex," or something like that.
Mhm.
Choked him up pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, television staple for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I know I grew up with Trebek. When I was a kid, I got babysat a lot by my grandparents and great grandparents, and my great grandparents especially. Jeopardy was like a big deal. Like it was time to tune into Jeopardy. So, um, I know I grew up as a young kid watching Jeopardy a lot, which I kind of think fits because I feel like I'm a big trivia junkie. I love like trivia games and like going to bars and playing
Sure.
trivia now. So,
Yeah.
um, I think that totally tracks with my personality. But yeah, I really enjoyed Jeopardy. What a
Ashley found a good meme today or whatever. It says, um, this is Connery greeting Trebek in heaven,
yes,
and it's
yes,
from SNL. Suck it,
yes.
Trebek. So,
We meet again, Trebek.
yeah.
Shuck it, shuck it. Yes. Yeah, very very oddly fitting that these two celebrities,
Yeah.
very sadly, of course, passed away, very close to
Yep.
one another, but yes. Yeah, 2020, man. It's not done with the surprises because I know when I saw that I was shocked. I mean,
Sure.
it's one of those things that you sort of keep in the back of your mind, but you don't really think is going to
Yep.
happen, and then it happens, and you're like, "What?" So,
Sure. When you found this other story now, which I had not heard of at all, and
did it not
this
blow
shocked
you away?
me.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
what?
yeah. Totally blew me away. So I didn't even find it. Somebody texted it to me. Um,
Okay.
and they texted me that unfortunately, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, one of their stars, Erica Girardi, or Erica Jane, if that's how you know her, is divorcing her husband, Tom. And I couldn't even
I didn't
believe
see it
it.
coming.
Like, no, I did not see it coming at all. If
She
you'd
must
asked
have
me
someone else.
if you'd asked me to line those ladies up and say like which one of them I thought, had a rocky marriage or might be in trouble or, could have been divorcing, it just would not have occurred to me to pick Erica at all.
Beverly Hills, they all seem pretty stable, I have to say, in relationships. Like a
Yeah,
lot of the different housewives shows, they have quite the lineup of tumultuous back and
right.
forth. I mean, like all kinds of stuff. But everyone in Beverly Hills, I feel like they work together, and
I feel
these two
like
included.
I feel like they do mostly, but if you'd asked me to like if you said, "Okay, one of these couples is getting a divorce,
Uh-huh.
pick which one." My first
Okay.
thought would not have been Erica. It might have been like Denise because of like the rough years she and
Okay.
Aaron have had. Like I would have been
Okay.
like, I
Yep.
feasibly see it. Um,
She'd be the closest, the best pick. I forgot about that one. Yes.
right. Just because of like kind of everything that of course went down over this past season and this
Yeah.
past year with
And
her.
she'll be gone now,
Right,
I think.
exactly.
So,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, so I probably would have said Denise. If you'd really, I don't know, pressed me on like another candidate, I might have said Dorit, even though I think she and PK are pretty
Yeah.
strong, but like I could also see some cracks there. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't see Erica and Tom, so
Yeah.
totally blew me out
I
of the
generally
water.
like all the relationships, and obviously their relationship is the oddest in a way because the age gap.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just I don't know. I mean, he's just getting too old for her now, or they just don't see each other enough, or they've had to see each other way too much now, and because
Right.
they're often apart a lot,
Mhm.
and so it's but I've always read that relationship as a bit more father daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
rather
mean,
than
obviously the age invites that, but
yeah.
it just means sort of like almost a seeking approval kind of
Mhm.
element there.
Well, they've always had a more, friendly than steamy romantic
Yeah.
vibe. They seem like great partners, but I just don't know that I would characterize their partnership as romantic. But if
But
it
that's what
works for
love
them,
is.
that works for
You know,
them, you know.
people get
Yeah.
together because something's steamy, and people stay together because something's solid, because
Right.
they're best friends and love like it's they can rely on the person they're coming home
Mhm.
to.
Yeah, which is why I think, we all thought their marriage was so stable because it seemed that
Yeah.
way. It wasn't very volatile. Um,
I'm going with she found someone else. She found someone younger and
yeah,
hotter.
I mean, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. I mean, I think she's had a year of probably some disappointments as she geared up
Yeah.
last season. Of course, was
Broadway
like her
canceled.
gearing up to play Roxy Hart on Broadway, and then of course that was canceled.
Mhm.
So that was probably a big blow for her. And then if she had to stay home in quarantine and she was just like around Tom all the time, just wasn't finding that very appealing, just sort of like broke down their marriage a little bit. Could see her maybe moving out to another house of theirs and then finding someone else. So
Yep. Well,
we'll
in
see.
exciting Housewives news, if you are not aware, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City premieres tonight.
Yes.
In
Yes.
fact,
I
it
am
probably
very
started
aware.
15 minutes ago.
Yes.
And I
I
am
will be
excited.
watching.
The Mormon, I'm gonna not be okay. I'm excited for this show, and because it looks like it could be crazy,
Yes.
and it's a new one. I mean, I'm ready. I'm
Yep.
ready.
Yep, I'm ready to meet some new people, get a new city, see what
Yep.
else is out there. So yeah, I'll be watching.
You have not been watching Potomac, right?
No, I mean I know about like the big drama that's been happening on Potomac, but I don't watch it. I've only watched one very random like middle season.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Robin owes like $90,000 in taxes,
Mhm.
which is weird when you're making large sums of money. You don't do your own taxes. You
Right.
don't. You have a CPA that can take the fall and look over things, and like it's it just says what you do.
Yep.
So that's weird. And then yeah, we have the same old drama kind of with Ashley and Michael,
Michael. Yep.
where Michael's always seems promiscuous, and it's come out that they've had sort of an open marriage in ways or whatever. But yeah, there's a new, she's a new mother now and having trouble being gone from her child and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then Michael messing around, not to the way they normally do things, then it's been that. So
Right.
and they have a new cast member, Wendy, who is
Okay.
thus far annoying. I don't know. She's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Jury's out.
Not.
Sometimes one is not. She
Yeah.
just
Not a
always on
great
about her
debut.
degrees. Like right now, it's like I have these degrees. These
Oh.
degrees I have here, and whatever.
Okay.
Okay, cool it.
That's a bummer. Yeah. I mean, you've got to make a splash, I think, as a new housewife. You want to, make a statement about yourself, but not like make it about
Not a
yourself.
bad one.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, that's another way of level of popularity.
True.
But
I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm comparing it too much to like Leah's debut on New York, because I just like loved her first season. Like it was just like so much fun.
yeah,
And now it's like,
that
I don't
was a
know. I'm
good
like,
first season.
right. Like this is like a great
Yeah.
standard that you should try to meet here. So
And then Orange County is
back.
has
Yeah.
been interesting. Shannon is very annoying. Some people had some good relationships though that seem like in ways they're helping them. It's been like some people are a little more stable.
Mhm.
But one of the cast members is admitting to being an alcoholic, and so it's been a struggle for her this season,
Sure.
being around stuff and like just starting to tell people and all that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So yeah.
That's so much of that culture is drinking.
Yeah.
Going out and grabbing a drink somewhere or
Well,
something. So yeah, that'd be tough.
all of our viewers, I am sorry for the Housewives talk. If you're not here for
I'm
that,
not.
if you are here for that, let us know. We can talk
Yes.
about Housewives all the time.
Especially if you are as blindsided as us by Erica and Tom's divorce.
Yes,
Because I can't.
they're dead, Jim. That must be a line from something. Alan says they're dead, Jim. I don't know what that's from. Star Trek. Okay.
Star Trek.
Okay. Okay. All right. Kirk. Yeah. All right. So other news.
Yeah.
We're burying the leads. We're burying the leads in my book, I guess. We'll get there. Fantastic Beasts. This is more drama. Fantastic Beasts, the Harry Potter spin-off series, has gotten rid of Johnny Depp. So starting there, if I would know we're going to talk about this, I would have looked up some stuff about it because I've been seeing stuff from my trusted sources.
Sure.
Kind of a week, and I forgot to put in the show run here or whatever. But yeah, it's weird. They're letting him go. I know he's in court.
He lost. He lost his first libel suit. Okay. I forget which paper. I want to say the Sun, but I don't know that that's correct. But that's the paper that had accused him and said we have proof that he abused his wife at the time, Amber Heard. He sued them for libel, and he is now lost. I believe he's appealing, but I don't know much of the details other than kind of once he lost, the Warner Brothers was like, okay, please exit, and he did so. Very quietly, and I felt graciously.
Was the lie about Amber Heard shitting the bed? Because apparently it was an animal, not Amber. You hear that?
No, I had
no idea. The case was that Amber Heard took a dump in their bed. but then supposedly it was an animal.
Okay.
She put animal feces there instead of her own.
Weird.
This is a
God.
wild case. Our
It
friend
is. There's so
Taylor
many
has
like
been
different
following it and stuff in
yeah.
particular, and it
There's
is
so many
wild.
facets to this and so many like accusations on both sides that I'm just like, I don't even what do you people do? Like how do you if you've done it, how do you think of that? And if you haven't done it, how do you think of accusing of somebody of that? Smashing bottles and threatening people or like throwing phones at each other or apparently shitting in a
Yeah.
bed. Like, what do you people do? This is like no behavior that I would ever do, you know.
Well, I wonder what's gonna come for Amber Heard then as well in this, because again, there's been light shed on so many weird things during this
Yes.
case, and I've
Yes.
I've still seen her in like a makeup advert,
Mhm.
and we don't know yet if she's gonna be in the next Aquaman.
Right.
This
Yes.
Mira, so
Still up
that's
in
like
the
the big
air.
thing. Like, are you? There's no word on that, so
Well, I
uh,
mean, obviously Johnny Depp as Grindelwald was a big part of Fantastic Beasts, and they're now recasting that. So, I mean, she's
nice.
not she's not safe if, allegations against her I think are proven, then I think she'll probably be asked also to exit Aquaman if she hasn't been already and we just don't know.
Yep. I don't know. I don't know what I think about. Maybe we have to do a whole episode sometime or something. Find a way to do it, but I don't know what to think about Hollywood pretending they have scruples and like hiring, firing based upon it, because I feel like largely it's been a city of sin since its inception kind of thing. And
Mhm.
so to like sit on your high horse and well, we didn't, we don't approve of your behavior here or something, and so you're gone. Fantastic Beasts is already has its share of problems. How will it
Yes.
survive a recast? I mean, people will see it because it's a Harry Potter thing,
Mhm.
but you know, we were talking that last Fantastic Beasts movie wasn't all that great.
No. No,
Uh,
it was not. Although
no
I
problem.
I I can't really blame any of the actors. They were not given great
No,
material.
right.
I
It's
think
the
everybody's
structure of the film.
yeah, everybody's performances were as good as they could be within the confines of what I think is a really shitty script.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Yep.
just wildly unfortunate that like characters were given very kind of like tropey typical plots, um, or in some cases like character complete reversals, happened, or just like things didn't quite add up to make sense and weren't explained really. And they're gonna have to like they're gonna have to do some like I think very like uh Last Jedi to Rise of Skywalker type of, you know what I mean? Like magic twisty
Retcon.
somethings. Seriously, to make these plots make sense. So, yeah, kind of a tough hole that the second film dug itself for the third one to climb out of. And then now you're adding,
You
of
know,
course, recasting on top of that.
yeah. We've been holding out. We did a Star Wars episode way long ago,
Mhm.
beginning of this year, kind of.
Mhm.
We have not yet done a Lord of the Rings Tolkien,
That's right.
episode or a Harry Potter episode.
Very true.
So we should get on those this
Yes,
winter.
we
That's
should. We should. Yeah,
because yeah,
I was
lots of
kind
thoughts
of
on Fantastic Beasts.
oh, absolutely. I was kind of holding off and hoping that maybe we could do like a Lord of the Rings before the TV series came out, but now like with of
Mm.
course coronavirus, like everything is pushed back so far. It's like probably not coming out to like 2022 or even later, who
Yeah, I haven't
knows.
heard updates if they're how that's going. I haven't
Yeah.
haven't heard.
Yeah, I know there's kind of a lot of big fantasy epics out there. Like the Wheel of Time series that I was also very, very excited about that Amazon, I believe, is producing. And then like the Dresden Files TV show, because I love those books. And two of the new ones just came out. That was in talks for filming this year, and I think has been pushed
Okay.
back. So yeah, lots of like really big fantasy epics that I'm interested in have been put on
Yeah,
hold.
I'm
So,
hoping something can. Hoping something can succeed here.
hmm hmm
Like I was really looking forward to Dune. We have the
right,
Foundation coming.
right.
I hope that something can really hit home
hmm
and exceed my expectations. Right now, the only like, sort of fantasy sci-fi that's hit home is Raised by Wolves. And I didn't put it on
Yeah.
my list because it's been a little while since I've watched it, but I definitely intend to continue there. But
hmm
yeah. Well, anyways, you found too that Mads Mikkelsen might be the replacement, huh? For
Yes.
Johnny?
Yes. He's in serious talks to replace Johnny Depp as Gellert Grindelwald, which I am perfectly fine with. Like I think
I'm gonna
we said this, we almost wish that, he would have been just cast right from the start.
Yeah.
He's a
Yep.
fabulous actor, so I'm excited to
Amazing.
see what he brings.
So good.
Yeah.
Such a handsome man. Such a handsome man. I they can easily explain away. It's the wizarding world. There's magic. He gets out trying to hide or whatever. He has to
Mhm.
change his face.
Yeah.
He does some sort of spell thing
Yeah.
and changes his look appearance. And then
Mhm.
it can be a whole thing with Dumbledore.
Mhm.
Oh man, like maybe he sees it in his eyes, is it the same eyes, but
Right.
otherwise, like, I don't recognize you anymore. You're just way more
Mhm.
handsome now. Oh my God. I loved you before, but
Yeah, right, but now.
yeah.
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 I'm excited to see Jude Law and Mads Mikkelsen kind of like on screen together and see what that chemistry
The
is.
fan fiction that comes of it.
I am yeah, I mean inevitably. It's already there probably. Um but yeah, I had a hard time kind of envisioning Jude Law and Johnny Depp not
Sure. Yep.
together, just like sharing the screen even and being like in the same universe and like having a relationship. I don't know.
I
So,
see. I think they both did well, but
yeah, just
yeah. No,
shitty writing.
I mean, I'm not ruling out the possibility of because I enjoy the first Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, I
I
loved
actually thought it was
yeah.
kind of refreshing,
Mhm.
and they just really messed up the second one, despite some really cool things. There were some
Mhm.
really cool things, but I think Rowling is getting what the like kind of God complex, no one will tell her no sort of thing that George
Mhm.
Lucas had the problem with
Mhm.
that um you think you can do everything and you're going to do everything and no one's going to tell you otherwise. This is my
Right.
vision, whatever. Whereas like no, Rowling, you can come up with some great stories. Write us a story, we'll adapt it into a
Right.
script and we'll
Right.
go over it and we'll do it again, and like and I think just that kind of thing could have saved this last one,
I
script
agree.
revision. So
I agree because it felt literally like scenes from a book had sort of been sewn together very clumsily. They were all cool things that happened. They just didn't happen together. They happened individually and just sort of happened to be on the screen for a certain period of time.
yep,
Do you know what I mean? Like it was just very
yep,
like this feels part of something way, way larger. I'm missing all the necessary details to like fill in the gaps between how we got here. And
yep,
you just picked some cool stuff and threw it on a screen in front of me.
yep. It's not the same thing. But Stephanie Meyer, the Twilight books, she writes like when I write backstories for my Dungeons and Dragons characters and stuff,
Yeah.
like I get an idea and I just can't get it to the page fast enough. I gotta write it and I come up
Mhm.
with whatever, and it's cool, it's frenetic, it's fast or whatever. But then I'm not going back and revising or editing to make it like
Mhm.
you know, flow and be good. It's just
Right.
and Stephanie Meyer is like that with the Twilight books, where it's just like, oh, I'm so hot and bothered right now, and I just gotta like write all my thoughts. I'm just like, it's so steamy. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and then never goes back through it. It's just
Yep.
like that's what it is. Pen to paper, thought to paper. That's what it is.
Yep.
And so because then she did the book The Host, which I also read, guys,
Hmm.
which was until the end when things got crazier, it was more thought out.
Okay.
It's like there was revision, like there was like I'm not just you know sweating and I need a towel. Like I just it. So yeah, different problems with these authors. Like they need to allow people to edit their stuff a little bit, go through it. And,
Yes.
I
That is
get
the
when you
job of an editor.
yes, right.
Speaking as one, that is the job. And it's,
Yeah,
I mean, a good editor will allow you to still have that like stream of consciousness voice, but it will be better than your like
yeah,
literal, brain transferring onto paper.
right.
I promise we refine it. So
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, Fantastic Beasts 2 clearly did not either did not have an editor or an editor too scared to say no.
Right. Yep. Yeah, you need that person. You need that person that can say why, that
Mhm.
can, in an educated way, explain to them what's going on here, why this is the wrong choice for something or whatever.
Absolutely.
All right.
But yeah, still
One
still
more-
looking forward to number 3 and looking forward to see if Mads Mikkelsen is indeed cast. That will be interesting.
Yes. Yes. Well, from one magical thing to a company that claims and names a lot of things, magical things, the Apple event was today.
Yes.
It's been the third Apple event in a few months here, and this
Mhm.
is one that is about Macs. I know this isn't like necessarily pop culture, but I'll just go over it quickly
Mhm.
because I'm interested. It's it's their reveal of the devices they have that are running their own Apple processors, their own Apple silicon. They've been making their own processors systems on a chip for their watches and phones and iPads and Apple TVs and stuff for a long time now. And today is the day they finally are beginning the switch for the computer as well, for the Mac.
That's right.
So they covered some specs. They launched. I loved and was disappointed by the event. I'm happy that I wasn't like super enticed to need to buy something
Sure.
because the devices they're putting these chips into are basically devices that have existed before. They'll just be
Yeah.
better now because they will have longer battery life and run cooler and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But it's exciting for the future of Apple computers because yeah, more efficient, cooler,
Yes.
potentially faster. Running iOS apps are available. Um, all the things that they've been wanting to do for a long time have been held back by Intel. They have their own. The webcams will be better because they'll have their own image processing part of the chip that
Mhm.
they can use like you'd have on an iPhone or whatever. They have I don't know. It's going to be good, but yeah. They at the very end they brought back the PC guy. If you remember the PC versus Mac ads,
Yes, I do.
they brought back that actor for the PC and had a little skit with him. So that was funny.
That's
But
cute.
yeah,
Yeah, not a
so
not a
that's
very
one.
like sexy or flashy event, but I mean if you're interested and obviously like so many people own an Apple device, it's big news
Yep,
for them.
yep. They had their best quarter when people staying home. They had their best Mac
Mhm.
quarter uh, last quarter. It said 50% of Mac buyers now are new first time Mac
Mm.
buyers. So there is some growth there right now. Um, they do have amazing production. Like I've watched many of the tech company events.
Mhm.
By in nowhere close is a production value that they manage in
Mm.
the Apple ones. They're always
Sure.
filmed on their Apple campus, so like spaceship campus, and the transitions that they use and the
Mhm.
camera work,
Yeah.
it's very good.
Yeah, not
So
surprised at all.
yep. In other news, other tech news, the
Mhm.
Xbox Series X and Series S launched today.
Yes.
Um,
Both flashy and
if
exciting
you
news.
Yes, if you did not get your pre-order in, then you did not get one today, because it seems like there is no stock in stores
Nope.
for the Xbox, nor will there be for the PlayStation 5 on Thursday or Friday, whichever day that is. Yeah. Xbox did like a 6-hour stream today in celebration. I set up ours.
Woo! Look at that
Yep.
beast.
Yep. It's a big box. Got Master Chief, even though he's, nowhere to be seen for a while.
That's right.
Back. But yeah, it's a nice unboxing experience. It's hefty. It feels very solid. I was surprised by the controller, because the controller feels a little bit smaller, way more solid, and like more texturized. I really like the controller.
Okay.
I already think the Xbox controller has been like moving closer and closer to perfect. So this is a good revision, and yeah, it's set up and it's downloading stuff now or whatever.
What are you gonna play first on it?
That's the question. So I've played through all of the Gears of War games except for the one that was made by a different company, Judgment.
Okay.
Kind of spin-off thing. But I have not finished Gears 5, which was very good. So I may just start over. That's running in full 4K at 60 frames a second now, HDR, all that stuff. So I may play that one. That'll be a good showcase for what it can do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I might finish Witcher 3 finally. I love Witcher. I love it so much. I've played through 2. I played a lot of Gwent. I played most of 3.
Okay.
But I haven't played any of the expansions, and I have probably an hour left or something like that in the main story. So even though the game's old, they keep letting it, like, it's a gorgeous game. So
sure.
I don't know. I'll have to keep you updated, but
okay.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna play anything brand new that was also released today?
No, because there's not. I mean, the idea was to be playing Cyberpunk 2077, but
True.
that's not happening.
True. No.
So
no, you're gonna have to wait for that.
it's
unfortunately.
It is kind of a weird thing, because you started up and they updated the operating system on the regular Xboxes to what this looks like now and stuff. So you kind of boot it up and it's about the same and all that.
Yep.
But it is very fast. It's very snappy. Has a good like HDR display calibration process I went through. So, and I still think just, man, an Xbox with Game Pass is just such an amazing value today. Like if you want an all-in-one media system that plays your 4K Blu-rays and has basically it has Apple TV on it now. If you want Apple TV Plus, you can get that basically any streaming service you want, and then Game Pass for $15 a month,
right?
Or $10 a month, and you're golden. And I guess I'll use that quick to say too then that Disney Plus, if you have Game Pass Ultimate and you're a new Disney Plus subscriber, you can get that free for 30 days as a
nice
for being part of Game Pass Ultimate. So, the one other game I was considering was I was playing through Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on PlayStation 4, which has some performance issues or whatever. I was considering restarting that. Maybe even on easy, just to experience the story and see it in better quality, because that's now available on Game Pass.
Oh, okay. Sure.
EA All Access is available on Game Pass. So, and I'm wearing my Gears hat in celebration. That's.
I was going to ask if that meant you already made your choice there.
Oh no, I got this hat working at Best Buy. I used to be the Apple expert there, and then kind of worked more just Mac and general computers. And then I ended up working in like the warehouse stuff. And when you worked in warehouse, you received everything. Well, you'd get the promotional packs for things.
Yeah,
like
sure.
Receiving that. And so maybe someone was supposed to go to salespeople yet, but it's like I was a salesperson, so you'd like look at what there was or whatever, and I managed to get this beanie. So this is not something I bought
Nice.
sent out in a promotional pack so I never want to wreck this hat. So
Nice.
Alan says he never saw any of them. Yeah, I know. We kept it. There usually wasn't too much, but I do have also like an Uncharted key, like a lanyard
Oh,
for
okay.
Uncharted 2, I think, when it came out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice. You got
hey,
the important
blame
stuff.
Steve, like he was the head of the department. So like, yeah.
Insider Best
Anyways,
Buy talk here.
yeah, yep.
From how
That's
many
been a
years
bit of it.
ago?
Yeah, it's probably been like a decade, getting close to
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like it, but you can see all the wrinkles on my face now. So, so yeah, otherwise, been some games that are coming out. Have been the
Mhm.
review embargoes have gone
Mhm.
are
I've been
up now
lifted.
and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So are you planning to pick up any of the new Ubisoft games or anything?
You know what I'm gonna pick up, obviously.
Assassin's Creed.
Yep, that's right. That's right. I swear to goodness, like I don't know why I talk about games in front of Chris because I've been talking about how excited I am for Valhalla for so long, and then all of a sudden like yesterday a commercial came on and he just like was like, "What? Oh my
Oh my
god." He
god.
was so excited. And he looks at me, he's like, "We're getting that, right?" And I'm like, "Where have you been for like 3, 4, 5
Clearly not
months?"
listening to our podcast. That's where.
Clearly, or listening to his wife.
Yeah. You never listen to me. Ever.
Seriously. Yeah, he was so excited and it was just like brand new information. So
Oh my
I had to make
gosh.
fun of him about that because yes,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah, and I've been going through the least spoiler free reviews because I don't want to know everything, but I obviously want to know things. Um so yeah, so I'm very excited to play Valhalla, both obviously starting out in Norway and then moving on to England because I have
Cool.
obviously a great affinity for that country as well. So yeah, super excited to play.
No. So, oh, well, okay. Speaking of that,
Yeah.
well, as an aside, have you done a DNA match thing before, like an
No, I
ancestry?
haven't.
Ah, okay.
I should.
You
I
should.
should. I
Yes.
mean, I know like I know a solid chunk of my genes, but there's definitely
Mm.
like another portion that like we've always just referred to as like a mix of everything all over
Yeah.
Europe. So it'd be fun to know what that mix actually is. Because
It's
I'm
always
very
interesting to.
solidly German. Like I do know like it might not be as much as I think it is, but I know I'm very solidly German and at least one part.
It's always fun if there's a surprise in there, or
Hmm.
it's fun to see all your different relatives and where they're living right now, or something like that.
Yeah.
23andMe gives you things that you're more likely to have or not have, or like allergies, or
Oh yeah. Hmm.
smoking, or hair on your knuckles, or whatever.
That's
Taste
very
some sour
specific
things.
of them.
Yeah, it is. It's some of the stuff, it's attached to your lobes and all
Sure.
that stuff. So it's fun. And yeah, be
Yeah,
interesting
it'd be fun to find
what's.
out if like my affinity for all things English is somehow embedded in my DNA.
Yep. I'm going with, even though being very like secular, I guess is the word, I'm going with in a past life I was Japanese, because I have
Sure.
zero Japanese in my ancestry, but I'm going with like first why there's such a connection for me there that
Mhm.
doesn't make sense to anyone, like
Sure.
why do you care that much about that? Why is that uh like a magnet for you?
Mhm.
That's what I'm going with. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
It's a pretty cool explanation.
I mean, if you buy or go with the explanations that people talk about of
Mhm.
past life or past life memories, that would be a thing, is like
Yeah.
an understanding or appreciation for or a connection to something from a past life. So
Right, that doesn't seem to make sense in this one.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep. So Anyways, yes. Well, no pressure, because I certainly understand, like, streaming it, streaming a game is kind of like work, especially if,
Mhm.
if you're gonna do it, and you're gonna have there's gonna be any sort of audience there that I mean, you can just stream it and do what you want. But I always feel a pressure then, or
Yeah.
whatever. So I understand if it's a first playthrough and you don't want to, but if you feel inclined, you should do some streams, or maybe for certain challenges or something.
Yeah, for sure. I have no like illusions about my gaming capabilities. Like I'm fine, I'm decent. Um the only game I would ever stream and think like, yeah, I crushed it is probably Resident Evil 4 because I've played it so many times and I
It's
love it
fun.
so much and I just like instinctively remember how all the controls work. Um but yeah, like playing Borderlands has given me like zero illusions about my abilities. Like I'm good, but I'm not a polished player at all. Be probably more entertaining to have, one camera on the actual game and one camera on my face as I play
Sure, yeah,
because
yeah.
there's no holding back in my reactions. So,
That's yeah, that's the best, is to have
as I knife my way
that's
through all the
some.
skags.
Mhm. Hey, I mean, lots of cutting probably in this. Yep.
Yep. Yep, right up my alley. Yeah. Working with axes and um
I feel like
yeah.
we've talked about that before, but just how, in a way, the internet has made it, just as in everything, the internet's made things better and worse. And
Mhm.
when you're playing some game couch co-op with someone, you just have to be the best amongst your friends,
Mhm.
amongst a few people. And when you're playing online amongst the world,
Right.
yeah, you're probably terrible.
Yeah.
You're probably not, chances are you're not good at all.
Right. Right.
So, it's it can wreck some experiences that could have otherwise been good or positive or something.
For
So,
sure. Yeah, it's
but in
it's tough to
terms of,
realize like there's always somebody probably better than you.
yep. Hmm. Yep. Speaking of positive experiences,
Mm.
there is they talked about on the Xbox stream today and stuff, and available today on Game Pass is Tetris Effect Connected.
Okay.
So Tetris Effect was a game that launched for PC and PlayStation 4 last year. I think it was
Mhm.
last year. And you can play it in VR. We have it on the PlayStation. You can play in
Oh,
VR, and so it's
okay.
really cool. It's Tetris, but it's synchronized with music. It changes the environment a lot for you. It's really a great kind of cathartic experience. It's
Sure.
cathartic's probably not the right word. It's relaxing. It's
Sure.
meditative. It's really fun. Well, now they're releasing on Game Pass a new version that has a multiplayer mode, and you can play locally, you can play online, and you can play online in a co-op sense too against an AI boss. So you can
Okay.
work together to defeat an AI boss that is like the different zodiac signs or whatever. So,
Oh, that sounds kind of
so I
fun.
download that. It's a beautiful game. The music
Mhm.
is spectacular. Um, yeah, yeah, definitely recommend it. Any version you play, but yeah, that might be one I play too. I'm sure that will look good in 4K,
Sure.
uh, whatever. So yeah, that's about it.
Mhm.
I mean, we've covered it.
Yeah, kind of
Covered the bases.
a mishmash of news all over the place, but
Yeah.
just been that kind of week. Big things
Yep.
popping up in very like random entertainment categories. So,
Yep.
yeah.
I didn't do an Xbox unboxing because there's only like 3 million of them available anywhere. It's been the
Yeah.
same thing. It's like, oh, here you'd open it up, and here it is, and here's the little
Yeah.
paperwork with it. So yeah, there's
Yeah.
that.
That's all right. I
Um,
mean, like
yeah,
why flood an already saturated market with another, you know.
Yep.
At some point, it is just you've opened a box and there's your product.
Yuck. So that's about it on this wintry, blustery day in the Midwest. Thank you for joining me, Andrea.
Yes, a great day to be inside, drinking something warm and listening to a podcast or recording one as we did. So, cheers, everyone.
Bottoms up. See you later.